Hey guys, so just another commentary for this one. It's one of the dungeons that I wanted to look back on. So I just paused at the start to show that my gear still terrible. So this was midway through the first week. I'd done 4 or 5 Mythic Plus, I want to say at this point, dungeons. But I think this plus four will be the highest one I've run so far. But my gear is still terrible. 316 weapon, blues, those 326 helmet, things like that. But the one thing I wanted to there was a couple of things I wanted to do because I just ran this dungeon on a +2 and there was a lot of mistakes that I wanted to clear up. So it's what I was just focusing on for this one. I think the two main things was on the first boss I died the last time I did this on a +2. I was surprised at how fast the beam goes, so it just caught me off guard and I just got one shot. And on this very first trash pack here, the tank in the first dungeon didn't double pull it, and I popped all my cooldowns, and it was just like the pack died,
Five,
but just super
four,
inefficient
three,
because,
two,
well, like
one.
I think after the first pack died, my true shot still had about 10 seconds left to go. So then it's just like, then I, like the next pack is right after, but still about like 3 4 seconds of just pure wasted cooldown. So I think this very first pack, I'm pretty sure I don't pop my cooldowns. Yes, I don't. So I'm just doing slight damage here. So it looks like I kicked the very first cast. I see my interrupt bar. Nobody kicked the second cast, which did chunks 3 DPS. Three of us to about 50% HP. Looks like it's tidal burst, so that's something I want to focus on for the future runs. But I can see I didn't pop my cooldowns, and here I pop all my cooldowns, and it's just smooth. Like now the second pack, which normally, well, it seems like also the mage he popped here icy veins, I believe. So with two of us popping cooldowns on the first pack, on the second pack, and it's smooth run. The Edge hasn't popped any cooldowns yet, but he's still eye beaming, which it's kind of like a cooldown in a way. It is a cooldown in a way. Another thing about utility is well, I'm running Trank Shot, which dispels raging in this case, which is the second affix that we get this week. But I run it just all the time. I think I got used to it because I had it in Shadowlands, and I was just used to it. And because it's very useful. I mean, a lot of mobs have magical buffs that you can purge and things like that. It comes in really handy. Very good kick there by the Evoker, kicking that tidal burst, stopping all that AoE wide damage. So far quite smooth run. Sorry. I'll kick that tidal burst there. Beautiful. So if you notice, I have a mouse over macro for my interrupt, so I didn't have to actually select that mob, then kick him. So even though I'm targeting the big water elemental here, I'm casting all my spells, I can just hold my mouse over him, and then if I press my interrupt, it'll shoot my interrupt at him instead of my target. Which is good because then it just saves some button presses, makes everything more smooth. I do die there. It's like 2 tidal bursts. And here I'm like, oh, should I wait for res? And I was like, nah. I mean, and then I just remembered it's so close, I just ran up. Oh, maybe some lag there, to be honest. 108 well ping. So the thing is, I do play in oceanic servers. Well, I'm from Australia, so I'm on oceanic server. So most of the time I play, it's with people from America. So I get around 150, 100 ping normally, which is quite normal. But I'm used to it, so it's not too bad. But let's see how the boss goes. So the very first time I did this dungeon, I remember I died to the beam because I didn't expect it to be so quick. That's last. So now that okay, I understand what people are gonna say. Yes, I'm a hunter. I can last, but I have a mage and an evoker here. You can last for free without losing 10% damage. So it's like, I shouldn't need to last. That's what I'm saying. I could have, but I committed to not lusting. Yeah, so the video guide I did watch, this is what it told me. Put your swirlies on the outside, and you can run on the inside ring because it covers less distance. You can dodge the beam easier. And when you're counting the knock up from the water, it's just 3 little spurts. Then will come the knock up. So 1, 2, 3, then the knock up. I'm running 3 knock up. And I just turtled it because I got scared. I didn't think I was going to make it to the next platform after knock up, and I just turtled and walked past the beam, and I just got fed up with it. But here I think is a good part. Like here, especially when you get the bosses and you have single target, your kill shot really makes your rotation feel nice. Because you're kill shotting basically in between every aim shot. So not the smoothest boss. I mean, 2 deaths, but we did it. That's all that matters to me at the end of the day. From my memory, the rest of the bosses is quite smooth, especially on low level keys. I have heard the last boss in this dungeon gets very hard on high level keys. I could be wrong, but at this point in low level keys, it's just if you have the DPS, everything just melts. So from here on out, I was pretty confident because first boss seems the most punishing in terms of mechanics. If you fail the beam, you just die. So the haunting scream there, I'm pretty sure it's a fear, so I make sure I kick that. So you see here, me and the mage both try to kick at the same time. I mean, I got it, but it doesn't matter. Like, as long as one of us got it, would have been good. DH here, guess bug. So the reason I wanted to comment this video is mainly because of this demon hunter. So he gets bugged. If I was that demon hunter, I would have just died, released, and come back. Because we had to collect what, 4 trash packs just to get to him. Here, tell the group. I see the one. One thing stream, so I kicked it. Beautiful. Or interrupted it. So you look at, even though it's a big pack, I didn't use my cooldowns because I wanted to line them all up. I just used explosive shot, and I saved the double tap chakram volley for the next pack because by the time we entered this pack, there was still off cooldown for about 4 or like 5 seconds, I believe. And I thought I'll rather just wait because it's such a low key, the pack's gonna die relatively quickly. So here I just, and look, and everything's back up because explosive shot is the shortest of cooldowns of all, so I'd choose that first. Another thing I guess I didn't talk about earlier is rotation wise, I always double tap rapid fire. I don't know if that's the best anymore. It was like that in Shadowlands because you have the talent and the legendary surging shots, which I guess is a talent now. But when I was reading the careful aim, I think it's like your aim shot does 50% extra damage to enemies above 70% HP. So maybe that could be better for your first one. But I think with the surging shots and the streamline in your rotation with true shot, if you double tap first, you can aim shot twice in the volley and get double trick shots. So I don't know. It's a lot of testing, but it's just what I'm used to. I don't know if it's the best, but it's what I'm used to. And see, like, so right there, if you just saw that, so if we go back, my volley. Actually, I can aim shot twice. Oh, okay. So maybe I don't know. I'm wrong, and I don't know. Maybe it's something I could change. I will have to look at and see what's better. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a huge difference. I think either way that I play it, I can still do enough damage. But like, for me, I like to do as much as I can, so I will look into what's technically better. I feel like Rapid Fire just feels better to play. So now this is when we realize, yeah, just go on. And I think at this point we were like, okay, he's gone, but me and this mage are doing enough damage that we can 4-man it. So, which is what does end up happening. So the edge actually disconnects for the rest of the dungeon, and we just go through his 4 man. So
It is indeed
luckily,
over.
it's only a plus four, a plus four,
You face the trial of the
nothing too
young warrior
high. If it was like a
witness
high
of
key, like
Kunlite. As the tale
10, 15,
goes,
20, and you
the
can't just
young
out
Gaul was
damage it, then
traveling
obviously
across the Kunlai plains
the key's dead.
when suddenly he
And
was
but
ambushed by
if
two
you could get
foes.
loot,
For the ancients!
I wouldn't leave the dungeon. Like I won't leave.
The
I won't be
young
the first
Gaul
to leave a
attacked
key
the beast
if
with
something bad
great
happens.
determination and
I guess
ferocity.
how I would
Yet,
put it.
the more he attacked, the more
This
fearsome
boss, I
he
still don't really know
grew.
what's like
However, when he left it
right
alone, the
way to do
beast
it.
shrank
Because what I read in the
even
guide was you hit one
faster.
boss to 7 stacks, then you switch. He did the boss 7 stacks, but I don't know. This boss was resetting stacks. He would get 10 reset instantly so quick. I wasn't too sure what's gonna happen. But this boss is it's not so dangerous. Like I said, I was saying earlier, a lot of things that are on how do I say on lower keys. Sorry, it's just you can't really see the mechanics that are on the boss. Like I'm sure this boss has mechanics that are important, but you can't tell until you get to a higher key. That's just where it's more punishing. This is where I really like the double kill shot build. Like I'm just spamming kill shots over and I just it's much more value than arcane shot because it does more damage than arcane shot, costs less focus than arcane
So
shot.
you see,
As long as
strife
you're not capping
feeds on
at
conflict.
the end of a boss, I think it
When you have
really
peace in
goes
your
well.
heart, strife will find somewhere else to roam. You have my thanks, heroes. You have given peace to this sacred temple. Now, off with you.
I think
I
I'm still
require
running latent poison
meditation
here, which I do
before I
change later.
begin the
But
restoration ritual.
nothing too fancy right now, just going slow with the trash pack. So my cooldowns do come off here. I might double tap Chakram and a volley. But I don't use it yet because I just thought single mobs by the time it came off cooldown, mobs already at like 60%. I didn't feel it like I feel like it'd be kind of a waste. I did use the explosive shot, like I said. So if I was to use anything, I would use explosive shot because it's the shortest cooldown, most likely to be back up by the time next mob, which it is. This healer though, he's pumping crazy damage. So I think the group we had here is actually very good in this group. Like to be able to 4 man this comfortably, this early, I guess in dungeon. Cast ticks for yeah. So I did prioritize. I like as soon as for me at low keys, I won't use my soothe straight away. Like I won't use my soothe if the mob's just about to die and it's not gonna do anything. But the mob that did the filing miss, I just soothe straight away because it's doing so much damage with unraging. Tank almost died there. See what I saved my cooldown? Yes. So I could have popped true shot here, but it was like 15 seconds for my double tap and chakram. I thought this pack is not super dangerous. I think I'll just save it. Yeah, look, see. So the Mistweaver, I just instantly go and prioritize the look at it. So that brought me down to like about 10%. If I did not soothe him and he had that raging buff, was it plus 30% damage? I would have died from that one cast because we didn't have kicks at that point either. So it was pretty clutch. I think that's something good to realize about utility. Shows how useful some relay is, especially on some affixes. Yeah, pop my cooldowns. This pack should just fall over. Yep, there it is. Kick that. Good. Yeah, so as you can see with that mob, I did not. I'd rather use the GCT to damage that mob because it was going to die super quick and it wasn't going to cast anything super dangerous. So it would be kind of a waste of a GCD to just use it for a soothe. But that mob right after I soothed instantly, as you saw, it lived for like another 4 seconds or so. It's something that you're just gonna use your judgment on. Yep, instant soothe. Hmm. So I popped my cooldowns there without explosive shot. Not, I mean, so I don't think it's too bad. I mean, ideally you don't use it, but so if you can see here, it's this Death Chakram 10% extra debuff, 10% extra damage taken debuff that I want to abuse. So as long as I guess my explosive shot pops before this debuff expires, I'm not too mad about it. So I have there was 2 seconds clear there, which I'm happy with. It's not my ideal because my rotation, how I do it is I throw my explosive first, then I throw my chakram. Even though chakram's second GCD, since the delayed explosion, I'll get the extra damage amp, but I save a GCD. GCD being global cooldown, so I can get one like I can sneak in extra casts in the damage window, which is it's just something you learn when you do the rotation. But not yeah, it worked out pretty good. Do I do it again here? No, I think here I would wait for my true shot because there's only 7 seconds left, and I'll probably true shot next pack. Let's see. Do I soothe here? I don't. Oh, I did late. Late. I should have done that one just yet. Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure the boss is next. So okay, no. I think maybe I don't use true shot. Yes, that's right. So I wanted to save my true shot for the boss, and I so just popped my three other cooldowns on 1 minute. Oh, that defiling miss really hurts. And I wasted. No, I didn't waste. I used my kick earlier. As you can see on the left here. I mean, the timing is not too bad. So 20 seconds before everything comes back up and I need true shot again. So I watched the video which said last place too. Let's go last instantly. It's okay. I would recommend this if you like. I could have popped true shot at the start of the fight there with Lost, and at the start with Lost, and like panicked, but I could just wait. I could just wait 20 seconds, and it's always better to overlap all your damage cooldowns and stack them on top of each other because you just the overall damage you get that way is just much higher. And I still have had about 15-20 seconds of hero, or still up by the time I did prop my true shot. But this boss seems pretty easy, all things considered. I mean, it is low key, and it's just my first impressions. But I think at low key, is everything is quite easy. The first boss is the hardest part in my opinion so far from the 2 times I've run this dungeon. Dungeons this time around don't seem I do like the fact that they're rotating after dungeons, so then in season 2 it will still feel fresh, not like Shadowlands where you're running the same dungeons for 3 whole seasons. But I do feel like the dungeons this time around are a bit worse than Shadowlands dungeons. I did like the Shadowlands dungeons a bit more. Oh, these mobs are rough. The Defiling Mist is really chunking people now. There's only It's a tidal burst mob as well, so there's a lot of burst. These mobs are very dangerous. If we had the Demon Hunter though, it would have been easy. I should kick this. I greeted. Okay, kick the next one. Judging by memory. He just dies. Yep, there he is. I did kick it a little bit late. I was in mid cast, so I tried to wait a second. But I got the kick out eventually. Takes dipping very. This pack is dangerous. Double tidal burst here with no one has kicks. Well, no one the tank has and the Mogad kick, but oh, it's just so much damage coming out right now. I popped myself heal here. I should have popped one of my defensives here. Looking back, let's see if I do. So it's dead. We're just taking so much damage. So I got to kick now. I kick Hydro Lance, which is now looking back at it the wrong thing. I tried LOS here. I thought I could LOS. Oh, shot right through the wall. um, yeah, I think it's one of those things that like it's one of this is one of the really good things from looking back and watching gameplay. Like now I can see when it's not everything's going on, things that need to be interrupted. Try LOS again here. Boom, dead. Right through. Sad times. But yeah, now I know like future runs kick title burst, and it's something you can only know that from running the dungeon. You know, I mean, obviously some small misplays. Yes, I should have popped my defensives there. But we get through that pack nonetheless. Blood DKs seems like still never die. They did get popped a few times. Oh, I'm praying for them to just pull it because I popped my double tap here. And I have all my cooldowns, so I'm pretty sure I use everything in this pack because it looked big. There was like big mobs here. Yeah. I don't kick there. Lucky, I held my kick because I saw the mage kick there. Let's see. Oh, the tank dies here. And I immediately, when I saw they have aggro, I pop binding and I start cutting back. So binding shot's really good tool for that. Just damaging, I'm kiting. And I think, what do I do here? I think I run, yeah, I turtle and I run all the way across. Because I have aggro. So he will chase me. I put distance, and then if one of the other DPS draws aggro at this point, or the tank, yeah, so yeah, they'll just go back. So now he has to run further to that distance. I should really, really spell the raging here, which I do, but it's so late, it comes right back up. Sorry, just somebody at the door had to pause that real quickly. But it's good use of turtle. Drag the mobs away, kite them out. Make sure we don't reset because it was very doable. I saw even pop like tar trap there to slow the mob. It's okay, that guy's lagging. Another thing, just always be friendly. I mean, if you're really trying to push keys, acting like an ass doesn't serve any good purpose, right? I mean, being friendly, everyone's in high spirits, everyone's more likely to play better, do better in the key. I mean, at the end of the time, end of the day, you're all on the same team. It's not PvP. You're not versing these guys in any way. I mean, why wouldn't you go into these guys to feel better and play better? If them feeling better and playing better is gonna directly help you. Oh, I played that real bad. Like I cancelled my cast to go misdirect because I thought I'll get this guy off me with strat, but it must be a fixate thing. Looking back at it, I like that this healer dispels me instantly because of the four classes remaining, I am the least tanky of them all. Please dispel me instantly. No, it dispels me first before he dispels himself, which is it's good. I think it's a good way for it's this healer is good in that he can recognize who is going to take the most damage. In this case, it's Hunter because they're super squishy just naturally. For example, Mage has all the barriers and alter time, even ice blocks there. Now I try and bait things in the middle. I'm pretty sure it's behind you. What I watched it. Yep. So yeah. So okay. So it is a fixate. So yeah. I think I realized this and I don't misdirect this time. I just don't bother. I'm taking a lot of damage here. I popped myself here already. I even popped one of my defensives earlier. That was good. Wait, when did I do that? During this phase when I have aggro. Yes. Wait, no? Right after. Oh, yes. When I get this debuff, I was taking a lot of damage. I pop the defensive. There it is. So, very good. Taking less damage. Easier for the healer to catch up and top us all up. Get it again. Drop low. But good dispel on the healer there. Now we're getting to execute range. Spamming kill shots to 1. Rapid fire 2. So you don't need to spam if you're running this build. I feel like you don't need to spam kill shots all the time. It's as long as you're not capping. It's great value. Like, oh, we just missed the phase there. I misdirect here. Maybe I didn't learn. Yeah, I purposely saved my cooldowns for this part as well. I mean, so I guess it goes to show, even with terrible gear, you can, and in a 4-man Mythic Plus, even though it's a low key, if you can go through it, you should, in my opinion. We could still time this comfortably, and why not? Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's no. You always got to look ahead, look positive, and see what can be done. I mean, I'd rather stay in this key, complete it as a 4-man, more of a struggle than sit in queue trying to find group for like 10 minutes or so. But we did it, which is all that matters. Anyway, just want to talk about that one.